DJ Moore.
That's you project. When I was talking about projecting. That's you projecting. They got Ben Johnston. We know what Raw did in the Ben Johnston offense. DJ Moore should be do those same things with in that Ben Johnston offense and with Kelly Williams and DJ Moore having another year 2 under their belt. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year, but I do see it coming. I don't know if Kelly needs 2 years in that system for him to pop, or he could be able to do it this year, but because he's just a 1 year in. But yeah, I agree with you. So that's the tea leaf. We're the tea leaf. Okay, especially if they don't keep Keenan Allen. Oh yeah. I don't think with him and Roma Dunzak.
That's another Roma Duke. So that's one dude who he could end up popping to as well. So these are wide receivers that were great.
You're now listening to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. And now your hosts, Christian and Chris, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. I am your host, Christian_CFS. And we got a show for you today. We're going to actually talk about when to push in all your chips, win now mode strategy up in Dynasty, and what you need to do. But furthermore, let's go and introduce, the co-host, the one with the most, the one that's feeling down up in the dumps, Mr. K Camp. How you doing, Mr. K Camp?
You see, I don't have no Duke paraphernalia on today. I should have put some Eagles paraphernalia. They ain't let me down. My Eagles did not let me down. Them Dukies did. What up? Shalom, Akim. Peace be unto my people. Peace be unto you, everyone who's listening. Because we all need peace in this world. In this crazy world that we live in, peace, and we know where that comes from. What's up, bro Ham? How was your weekend? Sure, better than mine.
Man, my weekend was phenomenal, dog. Phenomenal.
Do you remember it?
Oh, yes. I remember like it was yesterday.
Okay.
Because it was like yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Nah, but pretty much, man, I was off pretty much all last week. But it was baby girl's spring break, so pretty much took off the second half of the day, like second half of the week. Spent some time with her, and then the big Christmas gifts started coming in, man. You know how us as adults, and I don't know if people out there, if you're listening, as adults, you don't get happy for like gifts and things like that. You get happy for like new appliances. So we got some new appliances we was happy about. A washer and dryer set. So
okay.
We was pretty happy about getting a new washer and dryer set because the one that we had, it was only supposed to last 10 years, I heard. But it ended up giving us an extra 8. So
yeah, I got a washer and dryer that's 19. It was 19 years old.
It was 18 years old, dog.
18 years old.
18 years old. That's why I said, man, that's just a blessing right there.
That is the blessing.
So, because we was looking at it, we was like, to fix this washer and dryer, it's like an extra like $400-$500. I was like, hey man, we can just go and do something else, man. So anybody out there, I know if y'all are in the game of buying appliances and things like that, let us know, man. What's the newest thing you had to buy for your household? Man, that was just a family affair.
Y'all had an old school kind there, huh?
That was like
front. It was still newer stuff.
It was
okay.
It was front load. It was 2007, 2006. So pretty much it's like right out of high school type of deal. So I think it might have been like 19 years old because, you know, if you look at the manufacturer, they got to make it a year or two ahead of time before you actually get it. So it could have been like 19, 20 years old. But yeah, man, that thing was pushing. So your boys decided, and the wife and I, we decided, hey, we ain't gonna it's that time. So we had to go and bite the bullet and push it on out there. And then, man, you wanna know something about this new drive-in, dog? This thing, this dryer now it has like a sensor on it, so it can detect. Yeah. It can detect when your dryer vent is clogged.
Okay.
So that thing was like dryer vent clogged, bruh. Probably about this much stuff was like pulled out the pipe.
You mean like the lint?
Yeah, the lint.
Aren't you supposed to clean that every time you put a new load in, aren't you?
No, not from the small little piece. I'm talking about from the actual vent hose that goes all the way to the outside.
Oh, in the back part. Oh. That don't sound right. Y'all, it ain't.
I don't. Well, I don't think it was ever cleaned previously. So.
Okay.
So before we got to the house, I don't think it was ever cleaned.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
So.
How many years? Wow. It
was a lot of stuff in there, dog, and I was like, where all this come from? But hey, man, I know y'all ain't worrying about appliances and everything out there. We are going to get into the content for you, but we also got to let you know something, man. We got a big announcement, man. We just launched our Patreon. And just go and check it out. You know how Mr. K Camp always talking about his rankings. We're gonna put his rankings up on the Patreon and everything, so you can know who he's talking to and like who he's talking about. He might spill a little bit of tea on here, but not everything. But if you want to help us out to help the channel grow even more, we just gonna go to our Patreon. It is CFS23. CFS23. That's the Patreon. With the link will be in the description down below. But yeah, man, let's go on and get into this win now strategy, man. Let's go and get into it. We're gonna give y'all the blueprint of win now, going all in without mortgaging everything.
Without mortgaging everything?
Without mortgaging everything. See, unlike me, I was gonna say, man, I mortgaged everything.
Right.
I mortgaged everything.
I do not.
See, man, that's what's different between me and you, Mr. K Camp, man. I mortgaged everything and I just kept going. So we're gonna talk about in the first segment, we're gonna talk about when to push the chips in. So one of the biggest questions is, how do you know if it's really time to go all in? A lot of managers think that they're close, but the truth is not every third place team is a contender. So that's one thing I realized, bro. Like, a lot of people think that they right there, but then they really not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like that actual smoke screen. So so what are some things that you end up doing when you're assessing your team to see if you are at that point to actually physically push your chips all in? Because we know Mr. K Camp is a gambler.
I do gamble, but I'm a strategic gambler, if there is such a thing. I mean, you know, one of my big things is, right, if you got a top 10 quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver, right? Yeah, quarterback, running back, tight end. If you want to know, okay, if you feel good about making the playoffs, it's high probability that you'll make the playoffs, right? And so let's say off of that, let's say if you have, I don't know, you know, top 10 wide receiver, then you also might have two top 10 wide receivers, two top 12 wide receivers, right? So you kind of gotta assess your team and see how strong you feel your team. Now you need to be right, like you just said earlier. People think their team is really good, not right. So you got to look at the bigger picture, and if you have more than four, I'm gonna say anywhere from six top players, and like you feel like you can go in, you feeling good about your team, go all in. You know, I try not to do that. I don't have to go all in because my like my 1 point, for case in point, my co-host, he went all in, right? He was talking for three-peat or two-peat, three-peat.
I was trying to do the two-peat. He was trying
to go for a two-peat. And so he went all in. And so now he came a little short. But now he don't have any draft picks.
All right, pause. You need to clarify. Okay, go back. No, go back and clarify. Go ahead, continue. I'm not going to jump over you yet.
Clarify what? What am I missing? I mean, if I'm missing something.
Nah, I cut you off a little bit too soon. So,
I'm just saying, like, you don't. So you came up short, but you don't have any draft picks, and so for me, and that's how most people do. They go all in and they put all their chips in the middle. I'm gonna save a little bit. That's just me. I want to win and keep draft picks so I can keep winning. Go ahead, Tim.
Nah, man. I was just gonna say you darn right. I pushed all them chips in, man. I didn't care what I had.
Chips in, gamble. Hey,
I pushed everything in. I mortgaged the future, but my future was still good. Even though I didn't have any first round picks. But what he isn't telling me is I don't have any first round picks for this year in 2025. But your boy got, at the point of last year, I had a total of 7 first round draft picks in 2026. Or I might have had 6. I think I had 6 up in the first round. So I had 6 first round picks up in 2026. So even though I didn't have it in 2025, I was able to recoup it back in 2026. So even though y'all are probably out there saying, well, like 2026 doesn't matter. That's why you got to play the long game. You got to look at the prospects ahead of time before knowing what's coming out the actual following year. A lot of people want to get all the draft picks for this year. And man, there are some good prospects this year, but there are always going to be good prospects next year too as well.
Yeah,
and then if not, I can always trade back to 2027.
I was going to say, okay, so I was like, you know something I don't? I haven't looked at anything in 26. I really don't know who's coming out on my head because that's not Jeremiah Smith. He got 2 more years.
Yeah.
So that's not even him and your boy from Bama. And we don't know if Manning's coming out. He might come out. He might stay another year. So. I don't go all in like that. Prop to whoever who got the cojones to do it. I don't have those cojones, the testicular fortitude to do that.
Yeah. So some of the things that you got to do whenever you're trying to access this is you have to physically look at and see what is your league doing. So the one thing you got to realize is, like, one prime example, man, he probably going to try to take credit again for this. So the one thing that this one owner did up in our league, and the league that we're talking about is Reality Sports Online, the only platform that you can go to actually use contracts, with actually years on them too. So not just contracts, but years. Great platform. But back to one of our leagues that we're on. So this individual owner pretty much had a future saying he was going to win it all. But then he ended up backtracking that because what he ended up doing was he had 3 goals for that year. He had 3 goals last year. And those 3 goals was to beat the host right here, myself, Mr. K Camp, and then another individual up in our league. The reason why he wanted to beat me so bad because he's never beat me since we've been in this league.
Never.
And we physically have been in the league for, I think we played a total of like 8 games, and he was 0-8. So 0-8, and then you remember when Mr. K Camp said your boy mortgaged his future? I did. I mortgaged my future. But my team wasn't bad still. My team was still good. Like, I had Patrick Mahomes, but he wasn't the fantasy Patrick Mahomes that you needed. Great NFL QB, but not fantasy. So that's where it kind of hit me right there. One, I also think it didn't help that my boy went down from
Double R. Yeah.
From Patrick Mahomes too. Like, Patrick Mahomes took him out. So that didn't help. Also, my starting running back, CMC, didn't help as well, even though, like, y'all are probably out there like, why'd you put all your eggs in one basket? Your boy was trying to do something that has never been done up in this league before. And it was called that three-peat. So your boy just went all in the year before, and then the team that I was going all in with, as you're listening, I bet you out there you're nodding your head like, okay, this team is pretty serious. So let me go to the next running back. I had these other two running backs, which was JT, Jonathan Taylor. Yep. And then my flex position running back was Ramondre Stevenson. I said Raheem Morris. I was like, oh, he definitely ain't played no running back. But Ramondre Stevenson, that was my running back core right there. Then my wide receiver core was legit. I had Sam Laporta as my tight end, but you know the wide receivers. Had CD Lamb. Yep. Had Scary Terry. I had Raji Rice as well. And I also had Amon-Ra St. Brown. So like my wide receiver core was deadly. Yeah. And then we do kicker and then defense. But a lot of y'all out there, y'all don't play kicker and defense, so that really doesn't matter to you. So overall, that team was deadly. But what happened? Your boy got hit by what they say.
Injury, bro.
Don't find injuries because they're gonna find you. Well, they was finding me like a Seek heat missile. I'm talking about like a submarine was just, and all you see was just, oh yeah, let me go and get CMC. Oh, there he goes, having back issues, having hamstrings, Achilles, whatever. He was having issues, injury. All right, man, Patrick Mahomes, let's go and pull you down to the slumber. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do. So that's pretty much, man, right there. So like that's the team that I built. That's the reason why I was running heavy. But we got to realize, and let's get back on topic. I know I was going down a rabbit hole, but you got to know what the actual league is doing. And the reason why we brought up that one co-host is because, not the one co-host, but the one team that was in our league is because at one point he realized he wasn't going to make the playoffs. And since he knew he wasn't going to make the playoffs, he ended up losing the next two games, beat me, which was like the daggone championship. But he got
his ass kicked by me.
But his daggone, but my team was injured, like injury prone, injured. But let me get off my soapbox. I lost though. I can't. I'm still hurt by it because I lost.
I can tell. But to your point though, so if you were to go in all in on the team you had on paper, let's you would go all in, bro. CeeDee Lamb, top. He's a wide receiver one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver one. CMC, running back one. JT's a running back one. Pat Mahomes, he's a top 10. He was a quarterback one. Who else am I missing? The tight end one. So you had that many ones. So it would make sense why you would try to go all in. So if you look at this, also as I was saying earlier, you have to assess your team. You got that many ones, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Put your nuts out there and go for it. Go for broke. The injury bug did catch him. Rasheed Rice got hurt. Rasheed Rice. I ain't say him. He before he got hurt, he was averaging 8 catches a game. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Now, I think he might even have an 11 catch game. So
he was doing his thing. He was coming out that shell, and I was like, yes, this is what I needed to see. But yeah, man, it hit me. But yeah, so the one thing we jumping back in, co-host made some great points. But the one thing that this one individual ended up doing was the league wasn't in this and wasn't doing this. He realized that his team wasn't making the playoffs. And the first thing that like we asked was, what is your league doing? If like half of the league is rebuilding or like reloading, it's time. That's the perfect time to go all in.
Perfect time, yeah.
To go for like a win now mode. But if everybody is pushing for the playoffs, what's the perfect thing to do? All right, sell off some of your assets that are some of the teams that are pushing for the playoffs, the ones that are going for that win now, and you're giving assets, but then you're also getting the draft capital back up in return. And that's what he was doing, which was a great strategy. So now, like, this individual ends up having 5 or 7 or 13, 2011. He got about like 6 first-round picks. 3 of them are 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3.
So the dude has a first 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. He had 8. But he traded 8. And then he also has 11 too. So right there, the dude had, I think, 7 first-round picks. So
he had 7 out of 12.
He had 7 out of 12. So he had the opportunity to build something serious. But he ended up making some trades, and he's cooking. But this is when you actually push the chips in. Like, you're pushing all the chips in, trying to get that team to be that guy and just to push them to like the next hurdle. So like up in this next segment, like we was talking about pushing the chips in up in the segment before, this one is who to target in a win now push. So that's the one thing that we got to figure out is we got to figure out who to target in like a win now push. But yes, some of the guys that are coming out, man, you're trying to figure out who to target in a win now push. Like, so what's one of the things that you're looking at when you're trying to do a win now push to physically look at a certain player? What are some of the things that you actually do to actually access that certain individual?
Like if I understand correctly, like for an example, what was I preaching all summer long? And when Jamar Chase was holding out, I had a good feeling. I had a feeling he was going. He been waiting to pop as a wide receiver 1. He's a wide receiver 1 overall. Been waiting to pop. He got close his rookie year, right? Broke that out. Then the second year, I think he might have got hurt a couple games. 4th year, Joe Burrow got hurt. Stay hurt, whatever, right? So they never had a full training camp together, and even this past year, they still didn't because he was holding out for a contract. So, but I knew. Like we all should have knew that Jamar Chase was going to be that one-on-one. We knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. So I'm just kind of reading the tea leaves, looking at the landscape. Like, man, he can, if they can just be healthy together, he would be a wide receiver 1 overall. And what did he do? Boom, he popped wide receiver 1 overall. Like for example, this upcoming year, Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think he's been like a top 5 wide receiver for the past 3 straight years, something like that. Mm-hmm. So, but they just lost Ben Johnson, right? So you're going to assume and expect a bit of a regression, right? Because you don't know what the new OC is going to do, how he is. So you're expecting a bit of a regression from Amon-Ra St. Brown. So you need to be able to see that, read that, and pick up on that. You know what I'm saying? Those just 2 examples. I think I answered your question. What you were saying. So those are just 2 examples. Saquon going to Philly, that big, massive offensive line. Now, I didn't think he was going to do 2,000 yards, but I knew he was going to have a career high. I think his career was like 1,300 yards. Yeah. He's going to bust 1,500. Easy. He broke 2,000, right? So you gotta see that. That's all he did was offensive line. That's it. He did 1,300 with a bad offensive line. Look what he did with a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think that's some of the things that like I can say the same thing similar to like what I did with like Rajee Rice, even though I drafted him. The one thing that you looked at was like, hey, what is Patrick Mahomes going to do? Like they don't have the Tyreek Hill there yet. So who's going to be this next up and coming wide receiver that's going to take that next step? And I had a feeling that Rajee Rice was going to be that guy. And it was to the point where also it's the Chiefs, man. Everybody's just going to throw darts and then just pick up every single one of their receivers, and hopefully they end up hitting something.
And to your point, Kelsey's getting old. We know Kelsey's getting old.
Yeah.
Losing a step. We know that.
So that's also like, I'm glad you said that, because that's one great point up in the notes that we have down here. It is the key is do not trade for aging guys just because they are safe this year. That's one thing also you got to remember too when you're making these trades. Don't be trading for these older guys just because they're safe this year. You're trying to win Dynasty, so it's year round. So you want to in that in between. You don't want too young, but you want that nice medium. And speaking of medium, man, we got Justin Jefferson up on the block, up in one by league. So
we do JJ Jetta on the block trying to go to the highest bidder. I appreciate the GM putting it out there to everybody so he can get the best offer he can. Now, I don't think anyone can beat that offer. I mean, I guess somebody could try, but the offer that's being put out there, it's on the surface. I don't think anybody can beat that, or would even try to beat that.
But that's one of the things that I brought that up because I wanted to give y'all examples of like a win now mode and a player who you can target to see if you can get him. Like, yes, he's one of those top echelon players, but like if you're looking for, that's like a tier 1 guy that you can try to end up getting. Like some of the end up tier 2s that you might be able to get. And I'm gonna say this player, but you let me know how you feel about this player. Because I think a different scenery and then I would say a more what's the word?
Stable quarterback? What you talking about?
Electrifying quarterback is going to help this player out. And I'm not high on Debo this year, but I'm high on Debo because of him being able to go to JD.
I am not a Debo fan.
I'm not a Debo fan either, but I like what he doesn't have to be a number 1.
Is his skill set great for that offense? Yes. For how Cliff Kingsbury run that offense? Yes. Do I think that Debo will be injured? Yes.
Well, I'm saying Debo is like that tier 2, so like he's that 12 to like 24 range. Like, so that's where I'm trying to give people contents of players that, hey, you can go out and try to get this person. Like, he's not old, but he's right. So that's kind of a range. Like, there's other guys out there that I'm trying to think about who I could put in that same range. Up in the one guy I'm definitely going after this year is DJ Moore.
That's you project. When I was talking about projecting. That's you projecting. The guy being Johnston. We know what Raw did in the bench on the offense. DJ Moore should be able to do those same things with in that bench on the offense and with Caleb Williams and DJ Moore having another year 2 under their belt. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year, but I do see it coming. I don't know if Caleb needs 2 years in that system for him to pop, or he can be able to do it this year, but because he's just 1 year in. But yeah, I agree with you. So that's the tea leaf. We're the tea leaf, okay. Especially if they don't keep Keenan out. Oh yeah. All systems go with him and Roma Dunzak.
Like that's another Roma Dude. So that's one dude who he could end up popping to as well. So like these are wide receivers that we're grouping together, and we already said the tier 1 guys who, if somebody, and like we're trying to use our league for an example to give y'all clarity of how like our league mates are thinking, but then also the moves that they're making as well, because there are a lot of good moves that are being made up in this league. Some of them are some head scratchers and like why you did it, but at the end of the day, you can't knock it because you ain't the other GM. You don't understand what their process is, but you just got to keep the faith, and hopefully they ain't gonna keep doing moves like that. But I'm trying to think of some running backs out there that are some good process. Like one prime example, like what are your thoughts about somebody trading for like a Breece Hall? And the reason I'm bringing Breece Hall up is because some of the news that's getting out there from the Jets saying if Ashton Genty is there at number 7, they're going to take him, but then they're also going to try to trade Breece Hall as well. So
I think if you're in a running back and if you're in the NFL and you need a running back, I will go get Breece Hall. See if I can get for a 3rd round pick. Since you want to, I think that's all smart. Actually, I think AJ is going to the Raiders, so he won't be there at 7. But if for whatever reason he stays there past 7, and I also think that kind of smoke too. Oh no, maybe that's right. Maybe
trying to make people jump in front of him. Yep.
I don't know why would you trade Breece Hall. I don't understand that necessarily. But if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, go get Breece Hall. Especially get for a 3rd round pick. If you're the Denver Broncos,
I don't even think it's going to be that. Like, if you look at that, if you're saying it based off of that, like, where's the Bengals picking link? So, like, that's one thing that you're assessing as a team, like win now mode, who you going all in. If I'm the Bengals and I got a 1st round pick that's late up in the 20s, I'll give up that late 1st round.
I'm not giving no first.
You ain't gonna no first for no Breece?
No, I'm not giving no first. They need too much other stuff to give up a first.
Okay.
Maybe a 2nd, definitely a 3rd, maybe a 2nd. They need too much other stuff to give up. But also, I know you spoke on fantasy, but I was speaking. Yep. I was speaking on. You spoke on fantasy. I was speaking on real life. But back to fantasy. Yeah, I mean, this is Breece Hall is a 2nd round pick. This is a contract year for him, right? This is his 4th year, so he's trying to get paid wherever it is on that next rookie scale. So, yes, I would go and try to get Breece Hall because his value right now is low. In my opinion, I think it's low. After the year he just had, they're down. Then you got Justin Fields there, who is the running quarterback. So what does that mean? That means Breece isn't getting the ball as much, right? So his value is down right now. But don't let him get traded. If that story, any bit of that story is true, man, he go to like I said, Cincinnati, to a Denver Broncos. I can't even think. There's so many other teams who could use a Breece Hall. Hell, so. Yeah, try to get him right now for cheap. His value is low. See what you can do for him. That's crazy that he would even say that. That makes no sense to me. That's just the Jets being the Jets. Here y'all trying to do something stupid, trying to be clever. I mean, you're trading a dynamic running back for another one. I mean, one is younger, so I'm guessing that's what you're trying to do, so you don't have to pay him next year. Maybe that's why you would do it, but.
So this is some cap space for like next year. This is like the top 5, or like I'll just do top 6. Well, now let me bring in top 8. So you got the Raiders, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Titans, Seahawks, Commanders, Jets, Bengals, and then the Colts. And then you got the Rams after that. So I don't think they need a running back, but there are a lot of running backs coming out this year. So that was a good point that you did say. Is that the market is actually kind of down on a guy like Breece Hall. So for you to try to trade for him, like, you're not going to get a bang for a buck. Now, if this was a year that there wasn't any running backs at all coming out, then you probably going to get a bang for your buck for the guy. But that's one of the running backs that you can physically think about in fantasy just to go after. Trying to think of some other ones that are some good candidates.
How many of the running backs coming out that you would take over Breece Hall?
How many would I take over Breece Hall? Now don't get upset for what I'm about to say. I'll take Genty over him. I'll take Hampton, Henderson, and then Judkins.
You take all 4 of them over Breece.
All 4 of them. Yeah.
All 4 over Breece. Those are my top 4 in this draft class.
I also like Kalen Johnson as well from Iowa.
Behind the 4th best offensive line. He should have had 2,000 yards, but I digress. Anyway, okay, that's interesting. You would take even from 4 to 5 over Breece. Oh, we got to talk about that too. But yeah, before we go, remind me to shout out a team that won yesterday.
Okay. So that's the segment right there, is how to structure smart win now trades. Sorry about that, everybody. The segment that we just got over was who to target in a win now push. So that's what we was just talking about. Some certain players out there who you can target. There's other guys out there. If there's other guys that you want to have a conversation about, don't forget to DM us. Put it down up in the comments so we can actually keep the conversation going back and forth. And like what we said before, man. Hey, man, don't forget about the Patreon, man. We just dropped our Patreon, man.
Hey.
Man, just drop the Patreon. I ain't got none of those applause or anything like that, so I ain't got no buttons to hit. So
I got you.
So we just dropped the Patreon. So go and support us out there, man. We gonna trying to build something great over here, something that has never been seen before. Just taking it one step at a time. But yeah, man, let's go on and get into this next segment, man. So we got the how to structure smart win now trades. How to structure smart win now trades. What are some things that you're doing when you're trying to structure some smart win now trades? Like what is like what's your blueprint that you go through every step just to structure your actual smart trades in like win now mode? And then don't be shy to our listeners out there. Don't be doing no checkers, man. This is chess, dog. We need some chess moves.
I can't be telling all my secrets because you got people out here who be ear hustling, and
they be listening to the podcast for a reason, and they be in the league.
Be mindful of what I say because half of these people that's listening, I hope it's more than half. I mean, some of the people that are listening, I'm in the league with, so I can be giving all my tips and tricks out. I'm a guy who goes off a gut, right? So I go off my gut. I listen to my gut. Trust my gut, trust God. For an example, like win now. I think that like Devontae Adams, if they don't add a wide receiver rank, don't add a wide receiver in the draft, I think he could be a sneaky. He might lead the league in touchdowns, receiving touchdowns and shit. So if you can get him for the cheap, I think the value again is down on him. Get him for the cheap. I'm trying to win now. I'm trying to get the best talent for the cheapest price. I'm gonna say it again. The best talent for the cheapest price. Case in point, Devontae Adams. I think he can lead in touchdown. I don't know what the odds are, but I think they're pretty high. That could be a sneaky pick for you, right? Who else? To my co-host said, DJ Moore. DJ Moore could have another wide receiver 8 year that he had 2 years ago, Justin Fields, right? To have that, boom, that's a top 10 wide receiver. And ain't nobody, I don't say ain't nobody. Some people not even thinking about or checking on. They think like, oh, it's Rome, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. It could be a sneaky one for you. But you can go correct. I'm trying to think as far as a running back. Running back market is so scarce right now. Maybe AK. The Saints just signed AK for a year. I know he's pushing 30. They just paid him, so maybe they're gonna run his ass. They don't have anybody else. Hell. So maybe you can get AK for cheap. Like I said, I'm trying to get the best player for the cheapest price. Alright. So if I'm getting if I think Devontae Adams can have can lead the league in touchdown. So who's throwing him the ball? Let me see if I can go get Matthew. See how much Matthew Stafford is. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's going on with him. Maybe he can go back to 2021 Matthew Stafford and lead the league in touchdowns also and passing. So I'm trying to like boom, Joe Burrow. I knew Joe Burrow. If I said Jamar Chase was gonna have a wide receiver one last year, who threw him the ball? Joe Burrow. What did Joe Burrow do? He had a career year in touchdowns, career year in passing yards, 43 touchdowns, and he's never thrown past more than 36. So I'm trusting my gut. I'm seeing like who's up next, who's about to pop, who can pop. You want to catch somebody before they pop. That's what you want to do. You want to get to the best player for the cheapest price. That was a lot. If that made any sense.
It made total sense, man. You want the cheapest player. But the one thing that he did not mention, man, he wants the best player for the cheapest price. He corrected me, everybody. So the one thing he didn't mention, though, to y'all is that he talking about reality sports online, where the best player might not be the cheapest player.
Might not be the cheapest player.
They might be the most expensive player.
Like, how much is Devontae Adams in our league? Somebody get on any team? How much?
Like $57 to $60 million.
Well, that's just too much money. Now, there is a limit. What I say, the best player for the cheap, you see what I say? Cheapest, $57 million ain't cheap. I don't care what, it ain't cheap. So, I might not be able to get Devontae. Sorry, Tay. I love you, but I can't. Especially if it's multiple years. Like, if it's like the reality sports, you just have a 1 year contract for $50 million. Okay, you might do that. Multiple years? Nah, we're not going to do that. Best player for the cheapest price.
Okay, I understand. So some of the things that like we want to let you give you some examples for, like we want to give you some examples for like which picks and things like that you're able to trade. So some of the picks that you can end up trading is like you can trade like a potential like second round pick in like 2025, plus maybe one of your bench wide receivers for like a stable flex starter. So that could be, it depends on how bad your bench is or like how good your bench is. Like one of your bench players could end up being a starter up on somebody's team.
Could be.
And you could be able to help out a different area. But the one thing you don't want to do is you do not want to trade for like an aging veteran. You want to trade for no aging veteran just because you think, unless you think they're going to find a fountain of youth like Mr. Derrick Henry did last year. Ooh. Even though he was a beast, man, the boy took off once he got that nice Ravens and purple and gold that he was running in. He looked nothing better, just like how Saquon looked up on that new team. So those are two not aging running backs, but unique and thoroughbred running backs.
Right.
I don't know if there's any thoroughbred running backs that actually hit the market this year, dog. You let me know if there was any thoroughbred running backs that actually hit the market.
In fantasy?
Yeah. I don't think there's any thoroughbred running backs that actually hit.
I mean, so I'm going to just put this elephant in. I know there's an elephant in the room. Like, example, CMC.
Yep.
What, 20, what is he, 28?
29? Yep.
He's got a long injury history.
Yep.
What does your gut say about him? I'll speak this rhetorically. What does your gut say about him? Right, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. For next year, is he gonna pop or is he not? Right, he got the Achilles injuries. I think, if I'm not mistaken, every time he's been hurt for next year, he might have been healthy a full season. But for all the time, he's undefeated though. Undefeated. So, but I said to say his value now is down, right? So as an aging running back, like he said, his value right now is down. So you might be able to get CMC for cheap and throw a third round pick for CMC if he doesn't cost you too much in his contract. Depending on what the contract is, if his contract like for 1 year, $30 million, throw a third round pick and roll the dice. If it's like multiple years past this year, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, so yes, I think CMC is an example of an aging running back that the value is low that you could probably snatch from somebody.
So I'm gonna rattle off CMC's injury history. In college, he had a hip pull. He had an ankle injury in the pros his first year. He had a shoulder/AC joint sprain. He had a thigh glute strain. He had a thigh hamstring strain. He also had another ankle sprain. He had a chest rib sprain/pull. He had a leg calf strain. He had an Achilles sprain, and then he also had a PCL sprain. So that's just rattling off. Like last year, he had two injuries. He had the Achilles sprain, and then he had the PCL sprain, which ended up missing 8 games for the Achilles, and then an extra 5 for the PCL sprain.
So what? He
was also the year before, so he wasn't hurt up in 2022. That's the only year that he was fully healthy.
Was he with Sanford there? He wasn't with Sanford there.
I don't think so. I think that's when he did the transfer. He was half with Carolina and then half with San Fran that year. He wasn't the full year though.
Wasn't a full year.
But still, even though once he got there the actual full year, he only missed 1 game. So
missed 1 game.
And that was only because that was up in week 17. So he still did his thing.
It was resting. So
yeah,
it's a gamble. You gotta trust your gut. Do you think CMC gonna be back?
Yeah. But I was trying to look up the TDs for you for Devontae Adams, but they only got yards, so I can't.
Oh, the odds.
Yeah,
he'll be up there. He'll be a nice little long shot. I think he'll probably be 15 plus. Because I'm sure everybody's down on him. He's older. He's 32. You know what I'm saying? But I think Puka don't really score touchdowns in that offense.
No, but if you're in a PPR league, he's a PPR machine.
Yeah, PPR machine. Yes, agreed. So if he ain't scored a touchdown, who's scoring a touchdown? You know what I'm saying?
Devontae Adams.
Tay Adams. So.
Or they might try to throw in Tyler Higbee, dog.
And don't believe this Tutu Atwell. I heard Sean McVay like it's my fault with it. I didn't get Tutu Atwell the ball more. I'm gonna do better. Man, whatever, bro. Tutu been in the league 4 or 5 years. He ain't done it by now. We ain't believing that shut up. We ain't blowing smoke on my ass. Don't spit on me, Miss Rain. I'm not buying it. Not buying it.
Yeah.
It's all talk.
But also, if you do have, this is just another last thing about how to structure smart win now trades. If you do have an Asian veteran on your team that is about to hit that cliff and then like nosedive over, might be a great asset to actually trade away to get something back in return, like a younger player or like a future pick this year, or like a future pickup in the upcoming future as well. So don't forget about that whenever you're thinking about structuring your trades and how we taught you and how we was breaking down how we would structure a trade. So one of the last little segments, man, that we got, man, the red flags that your window is closing, man. What are some of the red flags, real quick, man? Rapid fire. What are some quick hits that you see man, with your window closing?
Do you have a lot of Asian veterans on your team?
Okay,
that could be one. And you don't have any draft picks because you didn't trade them all because you was in win now mode. See what I'm saying? You was in win now mode, so you got all your draft picks, and now your players you got to say they older. Shit. See, I'm about balance. I don't like that. Go ahead.
See, nah, dog. Your boy was about balance too, but hey, man, when they say, man, that green was calling a lot more than dag on that balance. Well, my team was balanced anyways. Like y'all heard the team, so the team was balanced.
There we go.
It's just they hit the injury bug, so you can't. Nothing wrong with that. So like, man, my window's closed. So right now I'm trying to pry that thing open just to see what I can get and what I can decipher out there. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen up in these streets. But yeah, man, some of the red flags, man. I say some of the red flags are, if you was, and I want to see how this one owner is gonna do, is I'm just gonna sit back and then access the team. But when you was in a win now mode, but then not fully being in a win now mode.
Meaning,
so prime example, we did talk about one of our lean mates last year. I mean, from last week, who had a phenomenal hybrid strategy. And like, if you didn't understand that one, just go back to last week's episode. We'll try to pin it up in the comments somewhere up top somewhere, so you can actually go back and look at it, or just wait to the end of the episode and then it'll just kick you back to the next one. But he had a phenomenal strategy, like a hybrid, that he was in like a win now mode, but he was also rebuilding too. Dude ended up getting phenomenal assets. Like dude had Jahmyr Gibbs, he had Derrick Henry, he had Saquon also as well. So like his running backs were the creme de la creme. The only thing he didn't have was like that wide receiver just to push him over, but he didn't do what we talked about in the 2 segments ahead. Like what this whole podcast is about, man, it's about the strategy of pushing everything, pushing all the chips in. He wanted to keep some of the chips. He wanted to keep some of them. He didn't feel like pushing them all in. He wanted to keep a little bit of them instead of going that all in and pushing it in. He didn't do it, man. So that's one of the red flags right there, man. If you're gonna go all in, go all in. Don't just put your toe in the water or like your whole. Don't put 95% of your body in the water and then say, hey, you're gonna leave this other 5% out. Nah, man, if you're going all in just to dive in, you better go all in and dive in.
I hear you. Ooh, I'm about to dive in it. Yeah, I got you. Damn, Houston gonna pull this off? Come on, Florida.
But yeah, man, we're going. That is the blueprint of Dynasty for your strategies. RSO. We just put RSO in there because that's technically the leagues that we're in. We are in some other leagues, but that's one of the ones that we're talking about. Trying to get you to understand what we're doing. But yeah, man. Great show, man.
Yeah.
What now, blueprint?
I just want to shout out a few things. Shout out to the UConn women Huskies. Okay. Shout out them. Shout out to Paige Beckers. Paige Buckets. I call her Paige Buckets. When her first national championship, she's been in the college 5 years. She tore ACL, different injuries. I think she lost her freshman year in the final. So I'm happy and proud for her getting her first championship. She came back to get that ship and she got it. Also, that I don't know if you know this, but Gigi Bryant. Gigi would have been on that UConn team this year. So rest in peace, Gigi. Rest in peace. I heard somebody say that Paige's parents, they were staying in the hotel room 824. So that's apropos. So shout out to Gigi. May she rest in peace. Paige, congratulations on that elusive championship. Juju, come back stronger than ever, boo. I'm praying for you. Juju's a bucket. I thought I had something else to say. The Gators, they bullshitting. What the Gators gonna do? National championship, my Dukies lost. We thank y'all for coming out. Even though you could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us. Give us 5 stars, please. Feedback is a gift. Spread love
and not hate.
Thanks for checking out another episode of Cerberus Gridiron Podcast, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode.